Don't know why I didn't come. On the break of day, I wish that I could fly away. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand. My heart is drenched in wine. You'll be on my mind forever. Out across the endless sea, I would die in ecstasy, but I'll be a bag of bones, driving down the road alone. My heart is drenched in wine. You'll be on my mind forever.
Hello.
Something has to make you run. I don't know why I didn't come. I feel as empty as a drum. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. If I asked you to trust me on all things, could you do it? If I needed you to map your position, would you try it? You're constantly talking about how much you love me, want me, need me, know me. Stop talking, no more conversation necessary. Show me, 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 if I needed you to replenish my faith and brother, could you do it? If I needed you to be with my strength, could you do it? You're
That's all right.
Your word is long, but you push me away and won't say why. You show me your exterior. I need to see your interior. I need to be absolutely picture. If we are to ever stand a chance, it's the last day. Don't you see? Show me the warrior you're born to be. Warrior, keep fighting, keep fighting, warrior, keep fighting, warrior, keep fighting, warrior. Life is always changing, constant rearranging. Nothing changes with you in my life. I go to different places, see a million faces, not as fine as you. Happy alone to love someone kind and true. I thank my lucky stars for bringing me to you. Are the close down from the hill, and yellow grows on top of the hills. I'm gonna learn to love you better, to love better. I'm you on southern pines, and honey that please leave behind. I'm gonna love you, sweet you, that's all. I know better.
Oh, when you get done eating that, can you eating cereal, baby? Your mommy make you something to eat? You know I will, because you're my favorite boy. Oh. All right, sweetie, here. You want to heat it up? You want to eat it like this? Okay. Is that enough? Here you go.
You're only on there with one person.
Good evening, everybody. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, great. So what I've done is I've muted everyone so that you will be able to keep your focus on my board, which is the white plate here. How this works, if you're not familiar with Zoom, the person who is speaking, their picture will show. So I currently have the camera on my plate, and so that is the microphone that's turned on. So as we're going through the presentation, you'll be able to see the plate. Now, I will tell you that at a certain point, of course, you all will have questions. So I do ask that at that time you unmute yourself, speak, and then mute yourself once again so that it will not cut off the visual. So I would like to start off by introducing myself. I'm Stephanie Scott. I am the administrator for We Are the Charcuterie and Cheese Board Artists. The page was founded July 2020, of course, during the time of COVID, trying to find something to do, and that is to connect the world with charcuterie. So without further ado, I would like to get started. I'm going to share my screen at this time. For those of you who are still connected to Facebook, if you have friends who are still trying to get in, I sent everyone the link again in Evite. So please send your friends the link if they're saying that they cannot get in for some reason. Okay, as stated, this is the We Are the Charcuterie and Cheese Board Artist class, where I will be teaching you how to create a salami rose. Before we actually begin the lesson, I would ask that you please complete this entrance ticket. This entrance ticket will give you a spot in our drawing for a prize, which will be announced at the end of the week. So what I will do at this time is paste this link into the chat box. Please click on it and complete the entrance ticket. I will give you 2 minutes. I'm sorry, 3 minutes to complete it. It is now in the chat box.
Stephanie, I don't see it in the chat.
Let me see.
Neither do I.
How about now?
No, did you select
Oh,
everyone?
you know what? It's private. It's going to Ms. Davis only. I'm sorry. Let me.
She wins by default.
There you go. There you go. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And while y'all are doing this, I'm going to check Facebook to see if we have some people who are still not able to get in. All right. So our lesson's objective is participants will be able to create a rose using salami and or other pliable round charcuterie meat to add to their presentation of charcuterie art. Some of the materials that you'll use will be one type of meat, and I've chosen salami, and that's what I recommended that you use, whether it's Genoa salami, sweet sopressata, or any round pliable charcuterie meat. I have some Italian dry salami, peppered salami, and calabrese salami. And I just picked this up from my local grocer. Also, some fresh fruit or dried fruit, your choice of cheese, a relish choice, cracker or cookie choice, preserves, honey, nuts or fine chocolate, flour or herb garnish, toothpicks, and a knife. I said at 2 at least because that's the most that you'll use in a single piece of, a single rose. And here are some models. You may have seen this posted on my page. These are very small models. One is a loose petal model. It's the one that is with the strawberries going along the center. And this is a tightly wound model on the left side. Why should you attend? Oh, I'm sorry, typo. Why should you attend to learn these techniques? For one, for many, to acquire a new skill. Also to use as an expression piece within your charcuterie art to attract more attention to your board. And then to present a presentation of art for the purpose of appealing to consumers. That is for those of you who have small businesses and you would like to incorporate the charcuterie art into your offerings. The instructional model that I will use today, I will, as the instructor, I will model the creation of 2 to 3 types of salami roses. There will be a beginner, intermediate level for those of you who may have some difficulty with the folds. We will be using half slices, line and roll method. And for the intermediate to advanced model, we'll be using tightly wound half folds and or full circle method. Now this would be the optional 3rd rose. And I think that we should be able to fit 3 into this session. So I will model those things for you, and then I will guide you through the skill practice. So what you'll do first is you'll watch, and then we'll do it together, and then you will work independently on your skill of choice. And as you work independently, you will have an opportunity to ask questions so that I could further guide you if you have difficulty. I'm not sure why you're getting a report abuse message. And
Stephanie, I finally was able to get in.
I just used my phone instead of the link. I put it in that way. Thank you.
Okay, all right, no problem. Okay, and let's see. My mom is unable to log in. Whose mom isn't able to log in? Your mom. Could you try sending her your link that you used? I can't hear you.
We just tried it. I mean, I just sent her the link and it wouldn't, so she couldn't get in with hers as well as.
Can you do me a favor? Send me, can you privately message me her email address?
Mm-hmm.
And then I can send the link to her.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to get our hands very messy. As you know, this salami is very, very greasy. And so when you're working with this and you're working, to make this for other people, I highly recommend that you use food safe gloves that fit nicely to your hands. Not the loose, flimsy ones that you get from Sam's Club, but the food safe gloves that you, not those, Kim. Yeah, those are the ones that I use on a regular basis at home. But, the food safe gloves that they don't sell in Sam's, but you can order online. I would recommend you use those, the ones that fit really tight to your skin, to your hand. Mainly because, for one, you want to make sure that you're as safe as possible, when you're handling food for other people. When you're doing it for yourself or your spouse, I mean, it matters, but not really as much. But definitely when you're handling food for other people. I got it. I'm going to send it to her in just a moment. Also, you want to make sure that you keep your meat cold. Someone messaged me a little earlier today asking if they should allow the meat to sit out for a little while to make it a little bit more pliable. Well, the fact is that the salami warms up pretty quickly. And, when you take it out and you're preparing it for someone else, that means that, you stand a risk of the meat souring. So you want to work with cold meat all the time. And then two, I also highly recommend, even though you're wearing gloves, that if you get your nails polished, make sure you remove all polish from your fingernails, because your polish can tend to chip off, and you don't want to have that in somebody's food. I mean, I'm sure I'm telling you things that you already know, but of course, it's one of the things that I like to state in a food safety, as a part of the food safety lesson. All right, so I've sent it to her. Just let her know that I emailed it to her. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to once again mute everyone. Well, yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna mute everyone. I'm gonna have those of you who are unmuted, please mute yourself, because if I mute everyone, my other camera is gonna turn off. Michelle, could you please mute your device? All right, so as stated, we're going to use salami, and we're gonna do 3 different rows methods. I'm gonna start off with 7 pieces of salami. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm stacking them because this is going to be your very first example, which is the beginner to intermediate level. I'm stacking them because I want to cut them in half. So watch first. I will do the demonstration. And then we'll do it together. So I've cut them all in half into half moon shapes. And now I'm going to stack it one on top of the other in such a way. I will place one down, and I'm doing it in a diagonal because it's easier to fold it once I'm done. So this is my first piece. I'm going to overlap the second piece at the corner. As so. Let me use my right hand so you can see it a little better. Overlapping just at the corner. And I'm going to continue overlapping. Okay, so I've used 6 pieces. I'm gonna save the other side to do my second rows. So I'm going to start where I started initially, and I'm going to fold it inward, and I'm going to roll. And continue rolling. And I want to try my best to keep everything lined up and together. So I'm going to roll. All the way to the end. And when I'm done, I'll stand it up. Then I can pull the sides apart a little bit, just enough to loosen it. And then I will use a toothpick to secure it going from one end through the other. Okay, now I can open it up a little bit more. And there you have it. All right, easy enough? Sonny, I see. You'll trust me when I say to you, when you try it, you'll get it. Now, this was my demonstration. This was my model for you just to watch. And so for my, my more advanced students who like to jump right into it, it's okay if you've tried it, but I'm going to take you through this again. I have my other pieces right here when I demonstrate that. All right, so this is my very first rows, and this is the beginner model. And I promise you, Sonny, you'll be able to do this, okay? So I'm gonna put this to the side, okay? Now, my next rows that I will do, and I will use 7 pieces of salami. Okay. I will do, once again, only slice one of them into halves. Okay. And I will take this very first piece that I've sliced into halves, okay, with the rounded part. Let me make sure I got the right angle. The rounded part up, okay? Now, with this, it's gonna be a little bit more complicated in that you have to use both hands. One, your non-dominant hand, which happens to be my left hand. I will use it to hold it while I do the folds with my right hand, okay? So I'm going to lay it flat here in my hand, and I'm gonna start with the corner, turning it in just like I did with the other one, but I'm turning it into itself and rolling it tightly. I'm gonna lay it flat just so you can see it. What I'm doing is I'm just rolling it. That wasn't a good angle. Let me try this again. All right. Okay, so I'm going to use my non-dominant hand to hold, my dominant hand to roll inwards, rolling it tightly into itself. Okay. Just like this. Now I'm going to take the other piece. Now, holding it with my non-dominant hand, I have the end piece that I have here I'm holding on the side. I want to use the other piece, the end, to overlap that piece. Overlap it and continue rolling it around. Okay. So I roll my two half pieces, and now I'm going to take a whole piece of salami and place it, well, I'm gonna place the center bud just beneath the top of that whole piece of salami. Can you see that? Right here. I hope this lighting is good enough for you to see. Right there. And I'm going to fold it into itself this way. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm just overlapping the ends. And I'm going to use a method called the north, south, east, west compass method. Okay, so let's just say that this is my north end that I just folded. Now I'm going to take another piece and place it on the south end, which is where the overlap pieces are. I'm going to place the center of the salami piece right there at the same height as the other, and I'm going to wrap that around. Okay, so that was the south piece, and now I'm going to place the east petal on the other side and the west petal on the opposite side, wrapping it around. And I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to put another piece on the north side and another piece on the south side and wrapping it around. And now I'm going to take my toothpick. I'll use two of them. I'll secure it from one side to the other, pushing it through. Then I'll use another toothpick to pierce through the back to the front, making a cross through the toothpick. Now I can manipulate it a little bit more by resting it down and folding out some of the petals. North, south, east, west, fold out. Okay. And so the toothpicks also serve as a stand so that when you place it down on the plate, you can angle it out and you can push them out a little bit further to adjust the stand like that. And just keep manipulating it until you get it to the way you like it. So we've had 2 types of roses. Okay. Now let me show you the last model. Now I'm going to use 7 pieces of salami again. Okay. Now, all of these you will fold in half. Now this is going to make a fuller rose than the one you had just before this one. It's going to look a lot thicker, okay? Now, you want to take your first piece and do the same thing that you did with the very first center bud that we just made, okay? Using your non-dominant hand to hold and then your dominant hand to fold into itself. And you're gonna roll it and roll it until you can't roll it anymore. And just as you had the other one, you want to hold it down here at the end and then continue it with another piece, overlapping it, and then rolling it around. Now this is gonna make a fuller and tighter rose. Now at this point, you want to take the piece that's overlapped and have it face outward. And we're gonna consider that our north side. And we're gonna use the north, south, east, west method for that as well. Compass rose, we're making a rose. All right, so you wanna take your folded piece again and place it on the north side and wrap it around. Then you wanna take another piece, put it on the south side and wrap it around. Now you wanna put one on the east side, wrap it around, and on the west side, wrap it around. And then you want to finish it off with one on either the north or the south side. And at this time, you want to secure it with a toothpick, just as you did the other one, on through one side and then the other. Now you can place it down, you can tap, 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 and then fold it out. Don't be afraid to smash it down pretty good. Now this one sits a lot flatter than the other ones because you don't have that full petal that's keeping it up so high. And then the same you can do with the toothpicks on the other one. Use it as a little stand to tilt it and adjust them as you need, pushing it in and out. for better display on your board. Okay, so we have, well, I have modeled for you 3 types of roses. You have the very first, the beginner's intermediate model, and then the other 2, which are the intermediate to advanced model. Now we're going to do this thing together, okay? Sunny, I got you, girl. Paulette, your smile shows confidence. I can tell. All right. All right, so I'm gonna put these off to the side. Now I will tell you that if you have a business or if you're planning a party, you can do these things ahead of time. You can make a whole bunch of roses ahead of time, put them into a container, seal them up, put them in the refrigerator, and then use them as you need to use them to decorate your boards. All right, so once again, you want to get three pieces for you because you're making a rose. I did 7 pieces for the first one because I needed to do a demonstration for you. So you can do 3 pieces of salami, stack them up, and slice them in half. And I'll do it with you. So you want to slice it in half. And it'll leave you with these half circles. So you should have 6 half circles. Okay. All right. Now what you want to do with these half circles is you want to line them up, overlapping them as I showed you in the beginning. You want to start in a diagonal. It's a lot easier to roll in a diagonal or just straight up and down than it is side to side. So you want to put your first piece down and then you want to overlap the end, stacking it right on top, just like that. Then the next piece. And you keep stacking until you've gotten them all stacked. Just like that. Are y'all with me? All right, Kim, I see your head nod. You got it, girl. All right, Ebony, you good? Okay. All right, y'all ready for the next step? All right, Debbie, I got you. Okay, so we're going to start on the end where we started off, and we want to turn it into itself by rolling as tightly as possible. Go as slow as you need to. Just make sure the bottom lines up as you roll it. All right. Once you've rolled it, you want to stand it up. And put your toothpick in between to secure the bottom. Slide it all the way through. Once you have it secured, then you can start flaring out some of those petals. Now, if you want a bigger one, of course you can use more halves. And there you have it. If you have your salami rolls, hold it up. Let's see. All right, Ebony. All right, Lola. All right, Ella. Kim, go, Chris. Sunny, oh, Debbie. Who else? Let me see. Paulette. All right, Paulette. I see you, girl. You over there fancy.
Mine's jacked up.
No, Debbie. No, it's not. No. Hold it up again.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. No. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And of course, with practice, it'll get even better. I promise you that.
So I have a question.
Yes. Who's asking? I'm sorry.
This is Tracy. So
Hi,
I
Tracy.
was hiding my face at first, really, actually. But so I use larger salami, and it's like, it's a little more challenging. It's like super bigger than the pieces that you use. So mine, I don't feel like I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of.
You might have to turn the light.
Here, let's see.
Actually, turn your computer the opposite way and then let the light in that room reflect.
Because I'm not able to spread it. Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it. So it's tightly wound. And what you would do is you would place your toothpick closer to the center or closer to the top more.
Okay.
You may want to put a second one going across, like in a T or cross, and then place it flat and just kind of smash it down at the top.
Okay.
That would help you a lot.
All right, I'll try that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Are y'all ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yes, you are, Sonny.
I use pepperoni because we don't eat pork or beef in the house, and so it's so much smaller. I just saw that Lola suggested vegan deli slice. I was like, oh, that was a great idea. I didn't think about it. So I'm like, these little itty bitty, my fingers are too fat. Pepperoni.
Well, you know, with the maybe this method that I just showed you with the half circles wasn't the best method for your size of salami. So I would think that for you, the full petal one might work out better. And Miss Moore, I think for your larger salami, the fold method will be better for you because we get to fold it in half, and that would be more suitable for your size of salami. Okay, so let's see how that works.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
All right. So that was one. All right, so we're going to use 7 pieces for the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, can you all see my plate? Okay. All right, so I'm going to take one of them and slice it in half. Okay. I'm me go full screen. All right, so slice in half. Once again, you want to make sure that you're holding it with your non-dominant hand and you're guiding with your dominant hand to turn it inwards into itself as tightly as you can wind it into itself. You're rolling it into itself. And then you're going to stop. And then you have this little flap right there. You want to hold it down to secure it with the other piece. Okay. Overlapping it. And once again, rolling it. Like so. And here you have a little rosebud. Now you can use these little rosebuds because when you have so many roses, let's say you have 2 or 3 roses on a board, you can group them together and add little rosebuds in it and put like blueberries in between as garnish. Okay. Oh, you lost my video. Let's see what's going on here. All right, can you all see and hear? Somebody unmute and please let me know.
We can
Okay.
see. Thank
All
you.
right, good. All right, great. All right. So back to this. All right, so now that we have our 2 center pieces, our bud rolled together, you have this little flap here. You want to have it faced outward. And you want to take a whole piece of salami and you want to place the bud just underneath the top, leaving about a 1/4 of an inch of distance from the top, okay? And you want to wrap it into itself, okay? Now remember that is your north side, and you want to place a piece on the south side, which secures the part that is wrapped already. This is the south. Then on the east side, then on the west side, north and south. You want to hold it down, hold it together. Use your toothpick to secure it by pushing it all the way through on one side, and then move from the back to the front, securing it, pushing it all the way through, and watch those fingers. Okay, you can rest it down and then fold out those petals as much as you can, as best as you can. And then you can adjust your toothpicks to use it as a stand. Now, when it's displayed, you can take your kitchen shears and clip off the toothpick so that it won't be showing. Or you just surround it with fruit and stuff so it won't show, and just leave it as is. So this was your second model. Can you show me yours? Or did I go too fast? Okay, let's see. Debbie, let me see yours. All right, Debbie. It's cute. It's really tight though. Just try to loosen it up just a little bit more. Val, put yours up. Very good, Val. Paulette, all right, Miss Paulette. Ebony, let me see yours. Very good. It's nice and full. Kim, did I see yours?
No, I didn't do this one because I got, I think, maybe too small of a pack from Aldi's. So when I cut out 7, it leaves me 2. I think, and see how big they are, like the other lady said, I might want to try the third method.
Oh, gotcha.
So I didn't try this one.
I gotcha. Okay, all right. Okay, anybody else want to show theirs before we move on to the next? All right. All right, so the last one, we're going to use 7 pieces. Okay, now this one, we're going to use the fold method. We're going to fold all of them in half. Fold and stack. Now, before we do that, make the rows, you all may have seen, like in some of the boards, you may see like a flowing river of salami. Okay, they pretty much do this, but they fold it in half again to make that. I want to show you what that looks like before we actually make our last rows, just to give you an idea, because it's something that I did with my board that I'm adding to. So all of these pieces that I folded in half, I fold again into fourths. So you're folding it twice and you're stacking. And then it, depending on the size of your board, you know, you'll fold as many as it takes to spread it out to make it look like a river of salami. Once you have them all folded and they're stacked up like this, then you can place them on your board and curve them. You can curve it around the cheese. You can curve it around the fruit. You can curve it around one of your spreads in a container. Do you see? I don't know if you can really see this. If I had a little bit more, then you'll get a better picture. Just imagine a river flowing if you had so many more of these to add. This adds a little bit more dimension to your board, and you could use this along with your roses to accent it if you have like the cheese or, you know, just an idea. And I'll show you what mine looks like. All right, so let me unfold those second fold and just stack them again. All right, so you have your half pieces. You want to start with one, using the same method as before to roll it into itself. You want to try to keep it as tight as you can. Then you want to use your non-dominant hand to hold down this little flap. And then you want to overlap it with another piece with the rounded side up. You want to roll it. Okay. Now you want to have the this part facing outward away from you. And you want to now use the north, south, east, west, north, south, east, west method of placing the next half in front on the north side, wrapping it around. Then one on the south side, wrapping it around. One on the east side, wrapping it around. One on the west side, wrapping it around. And then your last piece on the north side. Now this one is pretty thick because it's doubled. Okay. And you want to use your toothpick to secure it from side to side and then front to back. All the way through. And now you can spread it out. Spread out your petals. And remember, they're gonna come back up, you know, especially if you make them ahead of time. The petals are gonna fold back up, or you just adjust them as you need it. And I will tell you this, as you've worked with it, and then you put it into the refrigerator, it's gonna hold its shape a little bit better as it gets colder and gets less pliable when it's cold. Okay. Anybody ready to share?
I'm so ready to share.
Ah.
I bought this big salami. I'm like, what in the world? So
how did it come out?
I mean, my husband already ate my nuts. They're supposed to be nuts for him. These guys, like, okay. Literally. I'm in here getting ready for tonight, and my husband, I've turned the bag upside down so that he didn't know it was nuts. He found the nuts. He's just walking off with the nuts. He's like, I'm going to let you do your class. I'm like, what do you have? He goes, guys, now, these nuts, I got to show this pack real quick. These are the freaking bomb.
Oh, goodness, they look good.
Publix, and you can get at least 4 baskets out of that. But seriously, he ate my nuts. I'm more happy with this one. I got to play with it, but.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good.
Oh, you were, what you just told me about the whole use the last method. So, because they're like huge. The salami pieces, they're like huge.
Yeah, I think the fold method would work best for those.
So I'm happy now.
Very good, very good.
I sat on the couch for a minute there. I'm like, I'm done.
You did a great job. Miss Dunwoody, how do you pronounce your first name?
It's pronounced Bragavati.
Bragavati. Okay, so that is your first name?
That's my first name.
That's very different, very unique. Very, very unique. Bragavati.
Bragavati, yeah.
All right, very nice. I was afraid to say it. I didn't want to mess it up. But yes, I saw your rose. It looks really good. Ebony, I see your rose. It looks great. Who else? Ella. Oh, Ella. It's standing up. It's nice. Very nice, Ella.
But I have a question.
Yes, what's your question?
If it's hard to pull the petals down, does that mean that the toothpick is up too high and you need to bring it down?
Possibly. But it doesn't look like your toothpicks are are up that high. It just seems like, what type of salami did you use?
The same one. It's Genoa, but I guess it's the bigger type. Do they come
bigger
small?
type?
Does it come smaller?
They're different cuts. Oh yeah, that's a huge type. That is huge. But folding it in half should help. I think you may want to raise your toothpick up even higher.
Okay.
To help with the fold, so you don't have to fold as much out.
Okay, so when you buy this Genoa salami, you should get like it's a smaller size than this one.
They come in different sizes. It all depends. Okay. I can send you some types, some links, so that you could see it. But just check the grocer's, your grocer's freezer or your butcher to see what they have.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think if you lift your toothpick up a little higher, you might be able to get better folds of your petal.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So does anybody want to take the petal apart to do it without my guidance? You can.
No.
Sunny, no. Sunny said no. All right. But now is your time to do it independently. If you want to choose one of the 3 types and work independently, and then I can talk you through some things. If you need it, I'll have my my screen still on. I can hear you. You can unmute yourself and ask any questions that you'd like while you do it. But in the meantime, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take the roses that I've created and add it to a board that I've already made, okay? Just to kind of give you an idea of placement, how that would look. So you can follow along with me, you know, or you can just kind of work through the one that you have and ask any questions. I'm still here.
Can you roll certain cheeses like this too?
Yeah, you can definitely roll the cheeses, especially if you have the provolone cheese, as long as you let it sit out just a little bit to soften, because it's stiff when it's hard, when it's refrigerated. It's soft when you let it sit out a bit, and that way you're able to bend it without it breaking. So yeah, you can do cheeses. You can do cucumbers. You can slice cucumbers thinly. For vegans who are on here, you can use cucumbers. You know, if you slice it thin enough to make it pliable. You can use apple slices, and you know, when you cut it into quarters, and then you slice the apples, you can do the fold, the linear fold method for that to make your rose. Just imagine the apple slices, rolling that into roses, where you have red apples on the outside, and then of course the white, you know, center of the apple, rolling it up. That would make a really pretty rose. So use your imagination, you know, just to come up with as much as you can.
Roses.
All right, so this is one that I made earlier. Okay, and I left some spaces in here to add my roses.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. So remember what I mentioned about the Salami River? It's kind of going around this brie cheese that I have here, and then also going around this other cheese that I have, these cubes of Kobe Jack. So having that there, in addition to your roses, And when you add like roses and stacks of 3, it gives your board a lot of dimension.
Do you mind sharing, is that what you have on your board?
Oh, no, not at all. Okay, my poor little cucumbers, my refrigerator is too cold. So I have these little cucumbers here. These are the mini cucumbers that I just slice long ways. I have the crackers, these are pretzels, the flat pretzels, crispy ones. I really don't like putting in the bread when I create it and refrigerate it, because it can make it stale. The only reason why I have it in here is for presentation purposes for you all. But if I was creating this board to sell, I would not include.
That's not ham.
Let's see. Ella, please mute. So there you go. Thank you. All right. So like these cookies, I would not put in there until it was time to deliver it. Okay. But I have grapes. I have kiwi, yellow kiwi. This is brie. And what I did was I just purchased a wheel of brie, cut it in half, sliced it, and just kind of angled it to go around in a circle, one on top of the other. Strawberry, rosemary. This is salami, but it's peppered salami. It has the pepper on the edges to kind of give it a little different look on this end. Once again, yellow kiwi, pepper jack. I have nuts, of mixed nuts. Now, when you make these, you want to make sure that, you know, whoever's eating it does not have allergies. That's one thing you want to ask. You know, do you have any allergies? A lot of people have nut allergies nowadays, but I have nuts in mine. And then I have the little mini pickles here. I'm going to show you the pickles. Let's see. If you like whiskey, these are good. Okay. Don't ask me how to pronounce this cornichon or cornicon. But yeah, these are really good. They're a little sweet. If you like that. I also have this, in this container, I have honey. And I have strawberries, of course. Now, what I like to do to my strawberries, I like to slice them in half to show the inside. I think it's really pretty. And then inside here, I have a spread. It's a blueberry, and I get that from Marshall's or what's that other store? Home Goods. This is a blueberry pomegranate Stonewall Kitchen. It's really good. So I have that on the inside along with the honey. I like to always include honey, not just because people like honey, but because I have the cute little honey dipper. And whenever I do my boxes, I have the, you know, have it all decorated with the wooden spoons and the honey dipper on top. Kind of gives it a really nice fancy touch. Did I miss anything? I think everything, I think I mentioned everything in here. And as far as crackers go, I try not to include crackers on a board that I put in a box. I have that separate. So when I deliver it, I deliver the crackers separately. Because I don't want the crackers to get soggy because it's touching something, you know. But the cookies I can put in there because it's pretty. These are pretty. It's a nice touch, and they're in its own package. And I'll usually put that in after I've taken it out of the refrigerator to deliver it. And whenever you use these little boxes, there's condensation that builds up after you take it out of the refrigerator. So you just want to wipe it down, the inside of it, with a paper towel, and then hold it closed. Now this is a really large one.
Stephanie.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you find those little whiskey pickles?
Walmart.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, I got them from Walmart. But this is my box, and what I'll do is I will, of course, put a little sticker on it. I got some stickers printed, like the one that I have here on my honey. I'll secure it with that sticker, wrap it around with ribbon, and then add my little wooden spoons and honey dipper. And of course, I get a lot of my stuff from Amazon. So to add like the knife, the fork, and the little honey dipper, which is deep in my closet right now. So I'm not gonna go knock over anything right now. But I'll usually put them together, put the little honey dipper in the middle, tie it up, and then secure it with the ribbon, and then tie the bow on top of it. And then if you have like lavender or maybe a carnation flower or an artificial flower, rose, or whatever you want to tuck in there, and then add your own business card on top, and another sticker on the box. Now let me give you a little idea that I just came up with for my boxes.
Stephanie, what size box is that?
This is a 12 by 12 box. This is a really large one. So a really cute idea that I came up with, a lot of times, when people want these, it's because, it's maybe just for themselves. They want a little box, a little small one. I do the small ones up to the bigger ones. And it's usually for self-care. They just want to unwind. They've had a long day of work, things of that sort. I don't sell the wine yet. That is my hope, to eventually be able to sell wine with this, or even the little cocktails. My daughter, she's a bartender / med school student. So she makes the little cocktails in a pouch. So it's my hope to have those along with this. And so when they have like the little self-care time, sometimes, it pairs really well with music. So what I've done is I've created a playlist for my business, several playlists, some for just girl time, some just for romantic time with, your spouse or your, significant other, different types of playlists. So from that playlist, I created a QR code, and the QR code I print on a sticker and place it on the side of the box. So all you got to do is take a picture of the QR code, and a link will pop up. You click on it, and then the playlist will come on if you have Apple Music, because that's how I use mine, with Apple Music, iTunes. Yes. So it's a really fun idea, to receive not just a charcuterie box, but also to have a playlist to go with it. And one day I'll be having the wine to go with it as well. So that's an idea, something that you all might be able to use if you're trying to do something as a side business, to expand your business or what have you. So that was just a little tidbit of knowledge that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so let me close this out with my PowerPoint presentation. Oh goodness, I'm showing all my work business up here. Hold on. Okay, so in conclusion, how might you utilize this skill in your own practices? Anybody want to answer that question?
I don't have a business. I just like to give people unique kind of little gifts, and with all that's going on, just a small board, just to, you know, let people know you care about them, you're thinking about them.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. It's a great idea, you know, whether it's you're presenting it to them as a gift, or if you're inviting guests over to have it presented in your home. I think that's a great idea. Anybody else want to share?
I'm gonna do one before my Thanksgiving meal. So as they're hungry and wanting a snack, I'll have a board in the kitchen on my island for them to snack on before the Thanksgiving meal. So they're not eating my meal prior to.
Yes, and that is exactly how I got started years ago. One Thanksgiving, just trying to put something together so that people would stop complaining while I was cooking my food. Anybody else before we move on?
This is twofold for me. I started the business by accident. I missed the deadline for a wine tasting to order my charcuterie box. And I was like, I will not be without. I was very adamant of not being without a charcuterie board. So I created my own, and as soon as I posted it, because you know it's not real if it's not on Facebook, so I posted it, and people started asking me how much did I charge, where did I get it from, and so it kind of came to me by accident, and so this experience this year, we'll be in South Carolina for Thanksgiving. And I was like, okay, it makes no sense to try to figure out what we're going to eat for dinner. My husband's a grazer. Most of us are grazers in the house. And so I was like, if we, you know, I've been buying charcuterie boards since that event. And so I decided that when we get to South Carolina in our resort area, the kitchen area, I'll just have a grazing place for us to snack on all day for Thanksgiving.
Yes. And you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, when you didn't get a chance to order your board, it was meant to be, because it was meant for you to create your own and start a business. So kudos to you. And so how will it benefit you personally? I think we kind of answered that in the first question. And how has this session advanced your artistry? Tell me a little bit about what you're already doing and how this might help you with growing your business, if you have one.
I think for me, I've never done this business, but I've done tons and tons of catering. And so, you know, COVID happened. I canceled a few events by choice. And I've had a ton of people, because I do on my personal, everybody knows I love cooking. So I post stuff, like last night I posted a meal, and it's normally pretty healthy. And so several people are like, what are you gonna do? When are you gonna start making more food? So I think this route, I don't even know how I found the website. I can't even remember, but I kind of stumbled up on it. I'm glad that I did. And so this lesson tonight was definitely, I've already been kind of doing screenshots of, I haven't made a board. Well, I have a couple of times, but I actually, years ago with Pier 1, I was kind of buying like 50 million boards and tasting dishes, and they're just in my basement. And so, oh man, this is something good. So I'm happy tonight with your class with the roses. I think that's going to be, I think for everyone in here tonight, that's going to be very beneficial to walk away with being able to add that to a board.
Yes, and I'm glad you all attended. So in closing, thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate it. And you know, if you would like to donate, of course, this is my Cash App.
I'm glad you said that, Stephanie, because I was going to do it in closing that I have not donated yet, but I definitely want to donate. So this is good. I mean, you took your time out of your busy day to show us this stuff. So I'm sure that me and everyone else wants to donate.
Well, thank you so much. So I have my Cash App and my PayPal if you would like to donate. You know, this is a free session, but of course, you know, I welcome any donations.
Can you put it in the chat? Because I don't see it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Actually, can you send it to us? Also, my battery on my laptop is running low, so I've got a race. So I want to make sure I can get to it later.
Okay, I'll put it on the screen and I'll send it to you. I'll place it.
Awesome.
Let's see.
I just wanted to thank you, Stephanie. I've really enjoyed it. This is my first intentional board.
Right.
So I'm going to start first with family and friends, and we'll see what happens after that.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you all enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I have not had an intentional board yet, so all that, that's a great comment.
Yeah, this is Kim. I'm calling from California, and I think I missed the timing of this. But are you going to be doing another session?
Of the same, okay, so, but this particular session I won't repeat, but I'm working to get these videos onto my YouTube channel. Okay. And I'm going to share it on our page. It's been a really, really rough week for me. I'm a school principal, and we've had a hurricane, and we are trying to alter assessments and instructional minutes. So this week has been really rough for me. So I was not able to put as much into this during the week, but I'm going to try to get that in between tonight and Sunday, sharing my YouTube channel so that you all can view this video and the video from the week before. But I also do private group lessons. So if you have friends and you want to do like a girls' night or things of that sort, I also do private lessons for small groups. I will share that with you as well. We will have more lessons, but I want to try to do different things. I don't want to keep doing the same lesson over and over again. I want to be able to add more to what I've shown. So these videos will be available. You will get a chance to see it from start to finish. And, hopefully soon, maybe in the next 2 weeks, I'll come out with another lesson that will enhance your board even further. Okay, so I have added my Cash App to the chat, and then my PayPal.
Is it Chudy 504 your Cash App or PayPal?
It's the Cash App. Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, can I ask you one more question before you leave?
Of course.
How do you feel like the boxes that a lot of people are doing and posting in the group, and they have like the wine bottles inside the box? How do you feel about that? Do you think you should do that? Should you
I don't think you should, because think about it, that wine is taking up the space where food should be going. And not only that, I don't think it's sanitary, because of course you can wash the bottles, but then you're gonna kind of alter the labels. And so I don't think that people are really washing the bottles as well as they should, mixing it in there with food. So for one, it takes up space, and then I'm a germaphobe, so I really don't like that idea of having the bottles in there with the food. So I wouldn't recommend that. I think it takes away from the amount of food that you can put into a box, and you don't want to shortchange people. If you're gonna do a small box, do a small box, but you don't want to put a wine bottle in a medium-sized box and just kind of fill it up with food that's gonna, But that's my opinion. It's cute.
I just want
Thank you.
One more time. This was truly it took me out of my comfort zone a little bit because I'm over here using pepperoni, but I think I did have decent with the pepperoni. And I know that if I can do it with pepperoni that small, I can probably tap into salami. I was just trying to manifest what happens in the house because it's just, like I said, we don't eat pork or beef. But awesome. I understand the hurricane. I understand. I'm not a principal. I'm a teacher. And we had the hurricane here in Florida as well.
Yeah.
So I hope that is well on your side. But thank you so much for everything. And I've been so active in the group. Like, I'm like, yeah, I missed it too. I'm sorry. She said she's doing it again. So I really appreciate you gifting us. I know, I believe you should have gotten something from me before we started tonight.
Yes, thank you.
So I just really want to say I truly value the fact that you thought it not robbery to share your gifts with us.
And
You're welcome.
Stephanie, thank you for the hints, the suggestions this morning on my man cave box.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And you know what? That I've done videos before, the Hennessy, the candied Hennessy sausage, but I've also done a video on how to arrange the cheeses and the meats on your board. And that's how I started out. I found that those were a little impersonal because it was me talking to a camera and not being able to interact. And I didn't really like that as much, which is why I started doing the classes. And like I said, I want to do more classes, but I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. So you will see the video, you'll see more, but I also have to, you know, be considerate of, you know, like my husband's time too, because he's tucked away in the bedroom. I'm like, you can't come out until I'm done. And then too, you know, this stuff, it's just he and I, we have an empty nest right now. Our kids are in college, they're away. And so like, who's gonna eat all of this? So, you know, I can't do this every week because, you know, it's costly, and it's also, you know, I don't want to be wasteful. So I think what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll invite some friends over tomorrow and have like an outdoor event with a couple of girlfriends to eat the contents of this box, because y'all know I can't eat this by myself.
I wish I were closer.
I love your background of wine. What are y'all drinking tonight?
I'm drinking this.
I am drinking Mizuko from Sonoma Wine Valley.
Okay, okay. And I have this Petite Syrah. This is my first time because I'm a Pinot Noir type girl. And I tried this Line Shack. This image is going out. It's Line Shack Petite Syrah. And it is really good. I think I might have to switch. So I'm not going to keep you all any longer, but thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your efforts tonight. And please do post your picture of your rose and anything that you create, and please do tag me in it, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
All righty.